So I always wanted to say something like, people have been asking me about this in the comments, and then display a bunch of comments and then use that as an excuse to make a video. But I'm 100 sub Andy, so one dude asked me, that's about a good ratio. So close enough, we're game. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to say that we're not going to be glitching and cheating, skipping, fast tracking things around. We might trick AI here and there, but we're here to solve the puzzles. Game gives us a puzzle, and we're just going to have fun solving it. That's what we do here. So this video is about the do's and don'ts of Cayo Perico setups, and also I'm going to throw in some tips, just in case you're new to the Heist or GTA Online or even gaming in general. Oh, just one more note before we start. I don't want you to stop playing or doing whatever you're doing while you're watching this video. So fire up your game, push this into your phone, second monitor, whichever, and load up GTA. Head up to a clothes shop and look for the scuba outfit and save it. We're gonna need that later. And while you're at it, think about of different occasions, situations, and create a few more outfits. Will be needed. Back to the video. So the first thing you need to get yourself is a Sparrow to speed up your setup time. Some people prefer to use the oppressor. I personally don't like the premise of the vehicle because I LARP a little bit in the game and I find that it just breaks immersion way too much for me. For example, in this character that you're looking at now, Rivka, I don't carry all the guns, I don't have all the weapons, I don't have all the vehicles and everything unlocked. I just LARP a little bit and then make it a little bit challenging for me. But you do whichever you prefer. Sparrow or the oppressor, they're going to speed up the setup time because you can just like fly around and it's so much faster than driving around. But the goal here is to save enough money to get either one of those. Sparrow is going to be a little bit cheaper than the Mach 2, but the setup mission time will drastically be reduced. So we're going to start by having a look at the disruption menu here because all missions are optional. This is in case you want to brute force your way through the island, or if you get caught, some of these things would help. But because we're going to use the stealth approach just to get the elite, so more payout, like a little bit extra money there, we're going to be skipping all of these missions. I would say do them once, do them with your friends, try to make a little video or movie about it. It's kind of cool, but for the most part, we're just skipping this. Now we're moving on to equipment, and you'll see at the top that the demolition charges are mandatory. These are needed to break the gates and just to get inside, outside places, but this will alert the guards. So one of the things that you need to be scoping for in the island is bolt cutters, which will look a little bit like this. I forgot to scope them when I was in the island because I don't usually do this. What you really want to go with is the cutting torch. And if you don't have this option on your menu, chances are you didn't scope the drainage tunnel. So here's how you do it. From the communications tower, you need to find your way to one of the sides of the compound. I usually take the left-hand side because it's a little bit easier to get and to jump into the water. And if you saved your outfit, you can change to the scuba to make it like a little bit easier to look for the entrance. You can also grab a boat from the docks and make your way around the island. I don't remember if you need to actually dive in to take a picture of it. You might be able to grab a picture just from outside the boat. I did this a long time ago and I wasn't able to create a character fast enough to just go in and scope it. So I think this is how you're going to be able to do it. Just go in a boat, take a picture, or just take a dive, sub in, and then just take a picture. So back to the setups, you need to go to a construction site and you look for a yellow helmet and look for a cutting torch. Or you can just brute force your way through it. Potatoes, potatoes, which way you find better. There is like the construction site in the center. I find it a little bit harder to just go around to get the yellow hat. The other two are okay. You do it whichever way you want. If you find a yellow helmet, it's going to be easier. If not, just kill everything and look for the cutting torch. When you go back into the setups, you can see now that the demolition charges becomes optional. Means that you don't have to do it now because you have the cutting torch. And you're going to be using that throughout the heist. You don't need to go and get demolition charges. It will alert the guards. It's totally pointless. Moving on. So in this heist, I got bonds. So you go to the casino to grab a card from the security guard. I leave the Sparrow in this particular spot because once you come out from the elevator, this is where the game is going to put you. So to do this, you kill the 2 guards outside and conceal your weapon until you find a target. If you don't do that, the guards inside are going to start shooting at you, so it makes it like a little bit harder. Check my route because sometimes the security guard is like on this room here on the left, and then it could be on this conference room. And if it's not on these 2 spots, it's going to be at the end of the bar. Once you grab the car, just make your way through the elevator, as you can see here. Now, if you didn't get this and you get something inside the glass, like the diamond necklace, tequila, panther, whichever, you're going to be required a plasma cutter, which is going to be found by some thugs that are trading something, whatever. So what you do is you need to find their safe house and you take a picture of the board. You can't just do it like straight from the door. Once you see the board, take a picture, and then Pavel is going to pinpoint the location for you. You go there, shooty, shooty, bang, bang. Pips are going to be like out, in and out, so just be careful with that. Grab the plasma cutter and then just bring it back to the sub. It's not really hard, but just pay attention to like the way the security guards move and whatnot. Now, we need a fingerprint cloner. And to do that, we're going to go to a warehouse. And then there's always cameras outside, and there's a switch that you can disable. Or you can just shoot out the cameras. But I usually just turn off the switch so I don't alert guards inside. There's going to be 4 of them. Once you get in, just take the 4 guards and then go up to the laptop and hack it. Once you hack it, it's going to give you a location for the warehouse, and you need to go there and collect the fingerprint scanner. Now, or fingerprint cloner, don't forget to take out the cameras outside. It's important. If you don't, by the time you exit, there's going to be a little bit of contact outside, so it's going to be a few more guards. They're going to be alerted, and you just have to do a little bit shooty before you get in. So just take out the cameras. It's easier. So a quick side note here, because this is important, not just for this game, not just for this heist, but for every game in general, because this is the way it works. I'm sure you noticed by now that there's plenty of references to the heist, in the sense that what we're doing seems to be some sort of practice. You switch your helmet or use the uniform just so you can run around without being detected in between the guards, or you take out cameras, disable cameras just so you can run inside without being noticed, or you conceal your weapons just so you don't alert the guards. And this happens for every game. You see mobs having smaller scale abilities before the boss, and this is just preparation for it. You can take this train of thought for every single other game out there, because it always works like this. They always have like small little abilities that sort of teach you or kind of get you ready for the heist ahead. Anyways, I just wanted to make this quick note. Moving on. Now we're moving into the weapon loadout. First things first, make sure you get suppressors. It's stealth, so suppressors. Now, I play solo for the most part, and I fire with mouse and keyboard. I only use the controller to ride or drive or whatever. So I go for the aggressor because of the shotgun. Now, this makes it a little bit harder to miss the headshots when you need to take down 2 targets. Here's a good example of this. There's 2 targets here in the route, and what you do is like you shoot the first one, there's a flinch, you wait for the flinch, and then you take down the second one. And it's a little bit harder to miss this shot if you have a shotgun. You might be playing with aim assist, you do you, but this is just what I do. So aim and shoot the first mark, wait for the flinch, and then shoot again. Now, every time I get Merryweather, I rejoin the session, not just because the mission takes so long and you need to follow the helicopter, but because 9 times out of 10, it bugs for me. It's just so annoying when I'm just sitting and following the other helicopter. So Do it once, see how it works for you, just so you know like what happens. But for the most part, I just rejoined the session and tried to get one of the buildings. So if you have the Sparrow, one thing that you can do is to take the roof entrance. So you don't have to come in guns blazing through the ground entrance. So you can just like park the helicopter at the top and take the roof entrance. Some of these places are a wee bit tricky to land the helicopter. And again, inside, you don't need to go around setting off alarms, killing everything on site, just guns blazing, just rushing. There's no need for that. You just need to take a few key people, and I'm showing you there what you need to do. You don't even need a suppressor for this one. Use it if you want to, but if you just quietly, calmly take this, all you need to do is just take this first guard, and then the second guard, and then these two guys, take the other one, hack the laptop, run with the weapons. Now, this is important as well. When you exit to the roof, which you need to be careful because sometimes if you exit to the ground, there's going to be opposition down there, as you can see here. So make sure you exit to the roof and where is your chopper is. And there's two approaches here. One, you can just go back inside for a few seconds and then exit again. This will make like the helicopters kind of ground because they think that you're not there anymore. This is the tricking part AI kind of thing. Or you can just do what I do, which is take out the gunners before you get into your heli. A lot of the times, these guys will shoot you and then will kill you. And then you need to grab another helicopter, go up to the top, grab the weapons, and then just fly. So it just takes longer. So what I do is just take out the two gunners, get into my helicopter, and then just fly back to the submarine. Now we're going into the last menu, which is the approach vehicles. And I tend to let the secondaries and uniform locations dictate which one I'm going to use, because remember, the goal is not to do this as fast as possible. The goal is to get the best money and complete the elite challenge. So first things first, Kosaka, I only use it if I find two paintings in the office room. It's very rare to get those, but if you do, you can just go straight to the drainage pipe, full bags, elite challenge, fast in and out. Other than that, I just try to find different ways to fill in the bags. If you're solo, you need to find items around the island. So if there isn't two paintings in the office room, I'm going to move to the next one. The Alkanost is a shoot drop. It means that you can pinpoint exactly where you want to land. If there's good secondaries, but they're buried deep into the island and you cannot find uniforms around the coast, so for example, the airstrip or somewhere in the docks, for example, I'm going to be using the Alkanost. I can just drop into a specific place, change the uniforms, and then go around in the island. Next one is Vellum. Vellum is perfect if you have uniforms at the airstrip. Don't forget to bribe for the stash, because if you don't do that, you get caught like just as you're landing. So Vellum is perfect if you find uniforms in the airstrip, and then you can grab a vehicle to go around the island to the points that you need to go. The Annihilator, it's a specific drop-off point, and I think this is perfect for an RP kind of video. I did one with friends. I can't seem to find it now. They must have removed it. But we did a mission at night where it was kind of Splinter Cell-y kind of short movie, and it was a night heist, and we had like all the goggles and the equipment, and it came out quite cool. So it feels to me like it's more like of an RP approach. If you scope the helipad stuff, that's where you're going to be dropping. The patrol boat. Now, I did this once, and if I recall correctly, it's a long-ass setup prep, because you need to be you need to be sailing this boat, which is super slow, and you need to come across the map and then just drop it into a specific location. Do it once, because, just to see exactly what it looks like, but I think this is a long one. I couldn't even find B-roll for this one, so something else was playing while I was saying this. And last but not least is the long fin. I usually use it if there's no uniforms at the airstrip, but they're somewhere around the coast, like for example in these docks where you can just like go in with the boat, get the uniforms. Or I want to hit the airstrip, and then I want to move straight into the compound using the drainage pipe, because I couldn't find uniforms anywhere else in a nice location, or in a location around the coast. So I usually use the long fin for that. There's like a few more videos in the playlist. Just look at the videos, look at my playlist. I did some where I have like I have to use the long fin just to hit like 2 or 3 different places around the island, and then the drainage pipe because I just couldn't find uniforms. Now, for this particular one, I use the long fin. The setup isn't too hard. You need to find the police station. I clear it a little bit just to kind of get like a little bit less guards. The next time I find a cab, which will show up in a map. I parachute to the location, drive the cab, attach to the long fin. All you need to do is just drop the cops. It's not that hard. Sometimes it takes like a little bit too long. And what I do is just like, I just let them kill me. I leave the cab, obviously, let them kill me, hop into the cab, and then just deliver. Now, this is a great example of whichever fits your playstyle. So for this particular heist, the uniforms were just outside the airstrip. So I used the long fin to get to them. Then I went to the airstrip, looted the warehouse, then grabbed the vehicle, and then went around the island. And this could have easily be something a little bit different. You could have used, for example, the Vellum approach, go and loot the warehouse, and then grab a bike or something, go up to the docks just to get your uniforms, and then go around the island. So it's whichever works for you, whichever you think it's faster for you, whichever think it works best for you. And I've said this before, but I'll say this one more time. Another advantage of uniforms is that you might be able to skip the drainage pipe altogether. So if you go around the island, you take a left at the compound, and you take out both of these guards, and one of them might have a key code for the entrance. If they do, you don't have to go in and dive all the way to the drainage pipe. And if you look into this, I'm just going to show you the route here side by side. There's just a few seconds behind if you use my compound route, and you're going to be just around the same spot that you would be if you had to use the drainage pipe, and it's a little bit faster. Time matters if you're going to complete the Elite Challenge, so you need to do this under 15 minutes. So this might be a little bit helpful. Well, this is all I can think of off the top of my head. Hopefully this was helpful. Any questions, comments, thoughts, leave me a message in the comment section below. I appreciate that. Thanks very much for hanging out. You stay metal.